Hey guys, Big Dog Beef back again with you. Okay, I want to talk to you real quick about flying with firearms. I'm not an expert at this. I've never actually done it. This is going to be new to me. Brand new, never did it. So this is my experiences and what I've been going through leading up to this whole thing. Okay? So first of all, I did all the research that I need to do. You need to pay attention to the rules, essentially. TSA has their own rules, okay? I don't have them in front of me. I'll post the links for what those regulations are. And second, every airline has their own set of regulations when it comes to flying with firearms, okay? Mostly related to the amount of ammunition or how many you can bring with you. I think, example, I'm flying Allegiant Air out of Allentown down to St. Petersburg, Florida, and I think it's one handgun. Just fine. That's all I'm taking with me anyway. So the plan originally was that I was going to use the case that the XDM comes in. Nowadays, every firearm comes in a case, and those cases have holes that you can stick a lock through. The neat thing about the XDM case is that it can hold everything that I need when it comes to the holster and all that stuff. Well, here's the bad news. I'm not taking the stock holster, I'm not taking the stock mag carrier, and I've got more than the 3 magazines that there are spaces for. I tried jamming the rest of the magazines in and just wasn't having any luck. I would have had to have removed the foam and start all over, and I really don't have that kind of stuff just sitting around the house. I could probably try, but here's the thing. The TSA and the airlines don't give a whole lot of they don't give a whole lot of information when it comes to traveling with the magazines. The magazines, I mean, it's mentioned as that the magazine can be in the same case with the gun, but they're not really talking about multiple magazines or anything like that. So I don't have the resources to pick up a big Pelican case or something along those lines. To put in my bag, I have to use what I've already got. The good news is that I'm fairly certain that I'm okay with leaving the magazines inside my range bag because they're secure in there. The bag will be inside my checked luggage. There won't be any rounds in the magazines. They're inside my range bag in deep pockets, and that pocket is then zippered up. So they're not going anywhere. I mean, I guess that's really what they're worried about is them coming out and spilling and you know, making noise in the luggage, I assume. I mean, I could put one magazine in here, so I may just do that. I don't know yet, haven't decided. But I realize that because the magazines aren't going to fit into the XDM case unless I completely reconfigure it, I don't need to take that big case with me. Save on some weight. Again, airlines have got rules when it comes to the weight of your bag. So, and again, along with those lines, I made it easy on myself by I'm going to be shipping my ammunition via UPS down to my relatives who live in Florida. This way, I don't have to worry about the 11-pound rule, or some airlines have a 300-round rule, that kind of stuff. I can ship as much ammunition as I want down as long as I'm willing to pay for it. The good news is that whatever I shoot, well, that's ammunition I won't have going back. So, coming back, I don't have to ship it back. I'll have a lot less, and I can actually take it on the plane with me as long as I'm still underneath the 50-pound weight limit. So that being said, since I don't need the big, huge case from Springfield with the locks, I already had one of these that I bought a couple of years ago, a Gun Vault case. This is the large one designed for full-size semi-autos. I also have the small one, too, because a while back, I actually bought these because I was going to be flying out to Vegas, and plans got changed, wife got pregnant, didn't go to Vegas. So I had bought these because I had planned on going out to Vegas, and I planned on being armed out there. But plans fell through. Point is, I still have the cases. So the good news is that the XDM 525 does fit into the case, so barely, but it fits in, as you can see. What I like about these is that you don't have to worry about the case like Springfield and using padlocks, which is fine, but then the TSA has this whole thing with you know, okay, well, a reasonable amount of access, like, you know, they can open the case up. So if the locks are too long, then someone might be able to get their hand inside. The neat thing about this is once it's locked down, you can't pry it open to even get a finger in there. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm actually going to be having, I have two keys. One of which will be on my keychain at all times. My car keys, you know, my house keys, all that stuff. That keychain will always be with me. So, and then I will have a second key on, I'll probably just put it on a little carabiner or something like that, so that if TSA needs to get into this case, then I can hand them that key and I still have my other key. Also, I will be putting a sign on this case right here that says, you know, pursuant to federal law, this case must remain closed at all times. If you must open this case, please call, and then I'll list my name and my cell phone number so that they can reach me. And once they reach me, then I can come down, because they can't legally open this case unless I'm present. So, all right. Also, just to make myself a little bit easier, make life a little easier, recognize one of these guys? Probably came with your gun too. Okay? It's a chamber flag. Okay? It's what came with the guns, all that kind of, you know, that's what they come with. And so what I will be doing is I'm putting a chamber flag in there. Why? Because that holds the slide open a little bit, and it shows that the gun is not loaded. Okay? So just like that, chamber flag in. Okay? Close it down, take the key out, we're done. This is ready to go inside my luggage right now. I can go fly with this. I can't put this inside my range bag, okay? This has to be inside your luggage and on top of kind of everything else, because when you go to the airport and you declare that you are traveling with an unloaded firearm, they're going to give you a little form to fill out, and that form gets taped here. Sometimes they'll say, oh, put it inside. No, 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 that is a bad idea. Tell them, no, I'm not putting it inside the case. This case is not being opened until I get to my destination. Have it taped to the outside of the case. This way, it can be seen when it goes through an x-ray, oh, this has already been declared, there's the form, we can just move along, okay? And along those lines, I highly recommend that if you are ever going to fly with a firearm, and I'm going to take the chamber flag back out, I'm going to put this away. If you are ever going to fly with a firearm, I highly recommend not going up to the counter and telling the counter agent, hi, I have a gun. Bad idea. Bad idea. When you go up to the counter, you politely and in friendly manner, by the way, get to the airport early. Usually they say, what, 2 hours or hour and a half, depending on how you're flying or where you're flying to. Whatever they recommend, add a half hour to it. So if they say an hour and a half, get there 2 hours ahead of time. You don't know what kind of trouble you're going to run into and what the TSA is going to, you know, what mood they're in that day. But anyway, when you get up to the counter, you politely look at the agent and say, good morning, or good afternoon. I'm flying on your airline today. Here is all of my information, and I would like to declare an unloaded firearm in my luggage. Okay? You don't talk about you have a gun. Dumb idea. That's like being on a plane and going, bomb. Okay? You do that, you're stupid. So, you tell them politely, good morning, excuse me, just to let you know, I am declaring an unloaded firearm in my checked luggage, and I would like the paperwork so that I may travel. Okay? If you want to take it a step further, if you're doing like what I'm doing, I'm not going down to Florida for pleasure. I'm going down for business, although it's going to be fun. But in this case, I'm not carrying just to be, you know, just to carry like I normally do at home. I'm going down for a competition. So if I want, I can politely explain to the person, if it makes them feel better, they get this look on their face, I'm heading down to Florida for an international pistol competition. You know, an international Defensive Pistol Association competition. You know, something along those lines. If you, and, you know, again, it's probably none of their business, but if it makes them feel better so you can get moving, then I have no problem with that. why you're going with a gun is really, none of their business. But in this case, you know, with the air, the security, the air of terrorism and distrust and everything that goes on in the world, it's, if you need to explain to a gate agent a little bit more than you normally would, then by all means go for it if it makes them feel any better whatsoever. So when you get there, okay? Now, again, I haven't experienced any of this yet for myself, and I will very soon, but it's my understanding that once you declare your unloaded firearm, they will hand you a form. You fill the form out and tell you go stand somewhere. TSA will eventually come over and talk to you. They will take your bag. They will x-ray it. If they have any issues whatsoever, then they are going to contact you to get the key. Okay? Now, when they open the case, if they need to open the case for any reason, you need to be in the presence, because those are the rules. That is federal law. They cannot open up the case that has a firearm in it without you being present. Okay, that's why best idea is to put a little sign on here, again, saying, pursuant to federal law, this case may not be opened, may not be opened, please contact the owner, 888-555-1212. So, that's it. That is, and I know a lot of people are scared to fly with firearms. I think it's going to be an interesting experiment. I'm nervous about the whole thing, but I'm not scared, because tons of people do it all the time. And, the major horror stories you hear are the ones that come out of, like, New York and Illinois and places where basically you don't have a right to carry. So I'm flying from Pennsylvania to Florida. Not really worried about it. So I have every right to carry my firearm in Florida. Just like someone in Florida has every right to carry their firearm here in Pennsylvania. Of course, depending on reciprocity and all that happy horse shit. So that's it, guys. Again, interesting experiment. I will, once I get back from the competition, and again, this is a ways away still. We're still a few weeks out. But when I do get back from the competition, then I will give an update as to exactly how everything went flying with a firearm. So that being said, guys, as always, I appreciate you watching, and I will see you next time.